Good morning, Junior 3. I'm Miss Safinaz. This is a grammar lesson, the past simple tense, with verb to be. Let's start with this part. Let's start with the usage of the past simple tense. We use the past simple tense if something that happened once in the past, like I met my husband or my wife in 1983. We went to Spain for our holidays. They got home very late last night. What else? Something that happened again and again in the past. Like when I was a boy, I walked a mile to school every day. What else? We swam a lot while we were on holiday. They always enjoyed visiting their friends. Something that was true for some time in the past. Like I lived abroad for 10 years. What else? He enjoyed being a student. She played a lot of tennis when she was younger. And something else, we often use phrases with a go with the past tense. Like I met my wife a long time ago. I met my husband a long time ago. So the past simple tense, like something happened in the past and finished. The past simple is used with the following time expressions. It's like keywords. Yesterday, last night, month or year, 2 days, weeks, months, ago. And then, when, or in 1992, 1875, so something in the past, like yesterday, last, ago. Now, I want the past simple tense with verb to be. You know verb to be? Be. In the present, it was am, is, or are. Here, in the past, it will be was or were. Was or were. Was with I, he, she, it. And were with we, you, they, and any plural noun. So again, was, it's like instead of am or is. So with I, he, she, it, and any singular noun. Were, it's like are in the present. So we, you, they, and any plural noun. And the negative, it will be wasn't or weren't. You'll put not after it. Was not, wasn't. Were not, weren't. The same, as you can see. So let's see. The affirmative, was or were. The negative, wasn't or weren't. And the same thing in the question. Let's start with this part first. I was happy. He was hungry. She was a nurse. It was big. And the negative, I wasn't sad. He wasn't thirsty. She wasn't a teacher. It wasn't small. Here with were, we were early, we weren't late. You were at school, you weren't at home. They were quiet, they weren't noisy. And the question part, here with the affirmative, like they were happy, it will be were they happy? You make scissors. Were they happy? And for was, she was rich. Scissors between the subject and verb to be here was. So was she rich? This is yes or no question, and the answer it will be yes they were, no they weren't, or here yes she was, no she wasn't. Now the question with WH question like where, why, when, you'll put the same thing. Was with the singular group and were with the plural group. Like why was he angry? Where were you yesterday? When was she nervous? Who were those people? So was with I, he, she, it, and any singular noun. Were with we, you, they, and any plural noun. Do you remember there? There is or there are in the present. Now in the past, there was and there were. There was with singular, like the same I, he, she, it, and any singular noun, and were with we, you, they, and any plural noun. Let's start with the affirmative part. There was an orange on the table. This is singular, just one orange. There were some books on the shelf. Here plural. In the question, it will be was there or were there. Was there an orange on the table? Yes, there was, or no, there was not or wasn't. Were there any books on the shelf? Yes, there were, or no, there were not or weren't. Here, let's see the negative. There wasn't an orange on the table. And there is another thing I can say was no or were no. Like there was no water in the bottle. Or the with were, like there were no windows in the office. Or there weren't any books here. There is an R. In the past, like I said, there was and there were. Here the affirmative form, like there was, but I want to say something here. I can say there was a pen on the table. Ah, why? Because it's singular, or if it started with vowel letters, so and another thing, I can say there was some water in the cup. There was a lot of money in my wallet, money uncountable, like water. So a lot of or some. Here there were. I can say there were some books in the bag. Okay, books plural. There were 2 cats on the floor. Look, 2. But I'll not say 1. I'll not say a. There were a lot of kids in the garden. Here, because of kids, it's plural. Here you have the classwork. I want you to start to answer by yourself. After that, check your answers with me. This is the rest of the classwork. Answer it too and check your answers with me. Let's start the first question. What, was, or were? Number 1. They in front of the supermarket. They were. You know, in the present they are, so it will be were. So they were in front of the supermarket. Number 2. I in the museum. I am, it will be was, so I was in the museum. So junior 3, here am or is, it will be was. Are, it will be were. Number 3, he at school last Sunday. He was. There were or was many students at my school yesterday. Listen, many students. Here junior 3, if you will find there or a question, so how can I know it's singular or plural? Listen, students, so plural. So there were many students at my school yesterday. Number 5, were they yesterday? They, so where were they yesterday? Where, because of they. Number 6, we at the castle. We were. Number 7, there an apple here. Where is it? An apple, just one apple. So there was. Do as shown. Here you have to look between the brackets to see what he wants from you. Number 1, my sister at the beach yesterday. He said complete. Here junior 3, can you see yesterday? So it's in the past. So my sister singular, so my sister was at the beach yesterday. Number 2, the cupcakes were yummy. Here he wants you to make it negative. and he puts line under where. It will be the cupcakes weren't yummy. You can write the whole sentence. Write it again. The cupcakes weren't, I put not after where, the cupcakes weren't yummy. Number 3. Sally and Celine was afraid of the mice. Mice, plural of mouse. Correct the underlined word. So there is a word, he put line under it and it's false. He wants you to correct it. Sally and Celine, plural. So, were. Number 4. I was absent last week. Make yes or no question. He wants you to make a question. How can I make a question? Let's see. I was. Here it will be what? When I ask somebody and he will answer I. So I'll say you. And you takes what? Was? No. It takes were. So were you absent last week? Were you absent last week? And don't forget the question mark. Number 5. There is a party this night. Use last night. So here he wants you to make it in the past. So there is, it will be was. There was a party. I'll not say this night. I'll say last night. Spot and correct. He gave you sentences or questions and you have to do something, not just one thing, two things. The first thing, you have to spot. You have to put line or circle around the mistake. And after that, you have to correct this mistake. Like number 1, they wasn't in London last year. Here, where is the mistake? Wasn't. So, put line under wasn't, under the mistake, and correct it. They what? They wasn't? No, they weren't. Number 2. Was there 2 teachers inside our classroom? It's a question, as you can see, but here there is a mistake. Yeah, 2 teachers. Can I say was? No, plural, so were. So put line under was and correct it were. Number 3. No, he weren't. No, he weren't. Where is the mistake? Weren't. So put line under weren't and correct it to be wasn't. Here you have to write it with not. Why? Because it's already with not, negative. So correct it with the negative part like it. So, no, he wasn't. Or you can do another thing, Junior 3. You can circle or put line under he and replace it with something like we or they, okay? Number 4. She not was a student in our school. Where is the mistake? Can I say not was? No. So put line under not was and it will be she wasn't a student in our school. So put line under it and correct it. Here the homework. You have some questions. I want you to answer them by yourself and as usual check your answers with me. The rest of the homework, answer them too. What, was or were? Number 1. Mr. Smith sick 2 days ago. Mr. Smith, singular, so was. Number 2. You angry with me last night. You were. Number 3. Were she at 11 o'clock last Friday morning? Can you see she? So was she. Number 4. There are many shops in the shopping center. Shops, plural. So there were. Number 5. Her doctor very helpful. Doctor, singular. So was. Do as shown. Number 1. There was a garden around my house. He wants you to make a question. So scissors between there and was. Was there a garden around your house? My, it will be your. Number 2. There were monuments in Egypt. Here, correct. Can you see the question mark? So it's a question. So, were there monuments in Egypt? Number 3. It was warm in the swimming pool. Not. He wants you to put not. So, it wasn't warm in the swimming pool. So, not after was. Number 4. Was the amusement park interesting? Yes, he wants you to answer with yes. So, yes, it was. And why it? Because here the amusement park singular. So, yes, it was. Spot and correct. Number 1. There were 4 firefighters to put out the fire. There is a question mark, so it's a question. So I'll start with were. Were there? And put line under there were, because here he said spot and correct. So you have to tell me where is the mistake. After that, you have to correct it. Number 2. Tom and Tommy was at the amusement park. Look, Tom and Tommy, plural. So, Tom and Tommy were at the amusement park. Number 3. My uncle were on his farm yesterday. Can I say my uncle were? No, it's singular. So, my uncle was. Number 4. Mom was ill every day. Every day? Every day with what? No, so was. I have to write something in the past, like yesterday. Mom was ill yesterday. Number 5. There was gold coins in my wardrobe. Look, was and coins, plural. So it will be were. There were gold coins in my wardrobe. You will find extra question in your grammar book. Open it, page 79. Okay? Start to answer the questions alone. You will find the answer after that. Here are the answers of the questions. Check your answers. Open page 80. This is the first part of the page. Start to answer it alone. Here you'll find the answers of page 80, number 4 and 5. This is the rest of the page, page 80, the same page. Answer it alone. Here the answers of page 80, the second part. Check your answers. Thanks for listening. Study hard.